My experience with the Raidho D1s has been exactly that, quite an experience. Over the past few months that I've been living with these loudspeakers, I've gotten to know them, gotten to that level of expectation, and I would like to share it with you now. One of the things that hit me right off the bat was that it's a very different animal than the YG Carmel, which is the previous loudspeaker that I had in review prior to the Raidho D1s. And very different philosophy that goes into designing a pair of Raidho D1s than a pair of YGs. And of course, that makes up their sonic attributes, their sonic character, how you perceive your music when you're using it. And it was just very interesting to see how my music was presented to me the Raidho way. I mean, when I had the YGs, I would listen to my music, I would listen to my reference tracks, and it was very apparent that the YGs were there to dissect everything. Not so much, as I mentioned in that review, in such an analytical way that the sound was fatiguing over a certain period of time, but there were more attackers, if you will. The Raidhos were more of, it was a very relaxing and very natural way of listening to your music. I mean, and I have to attribute that to so many factors, among them the fantastic ribbon tweeter that's on these. This tweeter was just able to effortlessly, just with all the detail in the world, just present high frequencies with some finesse that I haven't heard before, which was very, very, very fun to listen to. I mean, it blended so well with the diamond-coated mid-range bass driver, and the coherence of the whole package was just excellent. It was very reminiscent of a point source loudspeaker. It was very close to that, and to what the ideal is. It kind of summoned a time to sit down, relax, and to really, let the music take you away. And to me, that is of huge value, because in the end of the day, that's what we want. Yes, we want our music to be analyzed, because, we're audiophiles, we're music lovers first and foremost, and we want to be as close to our music as possible. So the Raidhos were able to do that for me in a very relaxing way. When I turned on the system to listen, critique, what have you, I instantly felt that, okay, if the dishwasher's running, turn it off. If turn off the TV, turn off the computer, whatever, it's time to, enter a concert kind of deal. And, from the first note that starts playing, you're just enveloped in the detail and the ambiance and the overall finesse and realism of the performance. And that's just something that the Raidhos were able to deliver every single time with absolutely zero fatigue or stress or anxiety of any sort. So that would be my number one observance that from all this time that I've had them, is that uncanny ability to relax you when you're listening to your music. It's like having a massage, almost. And it was just, the loudspeakers have very, very little coloration. Actually, there's almost zero a tweeter grain from the ribbon or anything like that, nothing to speak of. So that just, transformed into a musical performance that was extremely, lifelike in terms of coming from a black background. So that's always a huge plus for me. As you can see, the design is very different. Raidho likes to take their designs from the way they manufacture a cabinet to how they finish it. You guys have noticed the absolute perfection of the lacquer on these cabinets. It is of piano quality, and really must be appreciated in person in order to get the full effect. But the fit and finish of these loudspeakers is fantastic. Everything from the machining of the fully aluminum front plates for the tweeter and midwoofer to the binding posts, which are incredibly simple but very sturdy, very rigid, and provide that that solid connection that we're all looking for. And another great note of the Raidhos was that their stands were designed to let the energy emanate more from the loudspeakers. So in other words, they're not so much as vibration tunneling devices as vibration isolation devices. It props the loudspeaker's tweeter to appropriate ear heights for, the majority of average listeners, chairs, couches, their height. So that's also, very important, as we want the tweeters to be at ear level as much as possible. That was welcomed. That was, of course, a good attention to detail. That's really what these loudspeakers are able to offer, an attention to detail without adding any fuss, attention to themselves, or anything like that. It's been fun to listen to my music with them. And, I've discovered little nuances that I haven't heard before just because of their ability to, present from a completely black background, and again, everything beautifully balanced. And what was interesting actually is that these loudspeakers really like to be played a little bit louder. I have my normal listening levels, of course, and I live in an apartment, but these loudspeakers really wanted you to go just a little bit, higher than the average listening level, which, of course, it's a thrill. And they really started dancing. And when they started dancing, that was when all the magic starts happening. And it was just very, very relaxing yet very entertaining to experience. In conclusion, the Raidho D1 has been a pleasure to live with, and it's been a pleasure to listen to my music through them and experience it a different way. And it's a terrific loudspeaker for a lot of home environments. Anything from small condos to apartments, small living rooms, to even mid-sized living rooms and living spaces. So it offers a lot to a lot of people in terms of its absolutely fantastic musicality, its relaxed character, which just puts you at ease when you listen to your music. This is the loudspeaker that you're going to listen to, when you want to relax and really hear what your music has to communicate with you. And that's really what I've enjoyed about them the most, is how they communicate my music to me. It's been very different than anything that I've had in my listening room so far. Definitely a different beast than the YG Acoustics Carmel. And one of the analogies that I kind of came up with was that the YGs kind of put you at the second to third row of the symphony hall. The Raidhos will put you in the, fifth to sixth row at the symphony hall. And that really comes down to, your sort of preference. And I really was able to build a rapport with these loudspeakers and how they present you with the musical experience. And it's one of relaxation and absolute, discovery. And that leads me to end with that I would highly recommend the Raidho D1s to any music lover looking for a super high resolution loudspeaker in a small package. I'm Zach Galarza with AV Showrooms, and this has been a review on the Raidho D1s.